Welcome back to Little English Studio, the place where history, culture, and the wonders of the world come alive in clear English storytelling. Today, we travel to the heart of Greece, to the rocky hill that has stood for thousands of years as a beacon of human creativity, democracy, and devotion to the gods. Rising above the city of Athens, the Acropolis is more than just ruins of stone. It is a symbol of civilization itself. Join us as we uncover the story of the Acropolis of Athens, its myths, its monuments, its struggles, and its lasting legacy. Imagine ancient Athens in the 5th century BC. The city was buzzing with life. Philosophers like Socrates and Plato debated in the agora. Dramatists like Sophocles staged their plays. Citizens gathered to vote, practicing the first form of democracy. Above all of this activity, the Acropolis rose like a crown, a sacred citadel dedicated to Athena, the city's patron goddess. The word Acropolis itself means high city, and in many Greek cities, the Acropolis was a fortified hill. But none were as grand, as ambitious, or as influential as the one in Athens. Long before the Parthenon was built, the Acropolis was already a sacred site. Archaeological evidence shows that people lived on this hill as far back as the Neolithic era. Temples to Athena were constructed as early as the 6th century BC, but much of the early Acropolis was destroyed during the Persian invasion of 480 BC, when Xerxes' army burned Athens. Out of those ashes would rise something greater, a vision that would transform the Acropolis into the masterpiece we know today. In the mid-5th century BC, Athens entered its Golden Age. Under the leadership of Pericles, the city launched an ambitious building program to celebrate its power and honor its goddess Athena. Pericles gathered the finest architects, sculptors, and artisans of the time. Among them was Phidias, the master sculptor who would oversee the artistic direction of the project. Together, they began to reshape the Acropolis into a monumental statement of Athenian glory. The construction was not just about religion, it was also political. The new buildings symbolized Athens, leadership of the Greek world after the Persian Wars. They were meant to inspire awe both among Athenians and among visitors from other city-states. At the heart of the Acropolis stands the Parthenon, perhaps the most famous temple in the world. Built between 447 and 432 BC, it was dedicated to Athena Parthenos, Athena the Virgin. The Parthenon is a marvel of design. At first glance, it seems like a simple rectangle of Doric columns, but every detail is filled with subtlety. The columns are slightly curved, the floor gently rises in the center. These refinements correct optical illusions, making the temple appear perfectly straight and harmonious. Inside stood Phidias's colossal statue of Athena, made of gold and ivory. She towered nearly 12 meters high, holding a spear and shield with a small statue of Nike, the goddess of victory, in her hand. The Parthenon sculptures were equally magnificent. The friezes depicted processions, battles of gods and giants, and the mythical struggles of Athens. Together, they celebrated both the divine and the human spirit. The Acropolis is not just the Parthenon. Other monuments complete its splendor. The Propylaea. This grand gateway, designed by Nesicles, welcomed visitors with monumental steps and columns, creating a dramatic entrance. The Erechtheion, a complex asymmetrical temple dedicated to both Athena and Poseidon. Its most famous feature is the Porch of the Caryatids, where 6 graceful female figures serve as columns. The Temple of Athena Nike, a small but elegant temple celebrating Athena as the goddess of victory, built to commemorate Athens' triumphs in war. Together, these structures formed a harmonious ensemble, a blend of art, religion, and civic pride. For the Athenians, the Acropolis was the spiritual heart of the city. Festivals like the Panathenea brought citizens together in grand processions, offering sacrifices and celebrating Athena. But the Acropolis was also a political symbol. Its temples displayed the wealth of Athens, much of which came from the tribute of the Delian League, an alliance of Greek states led by Athens. To its allies, the Acropolis proclaimed leadership. To its enemies, it was a reminder of Athenian dominance. The Acropolis also embodied cultural ideals. The harmony of its architecture mirrored the ideals of order, balance, and rationality that Greek philosophy cherished. The glory of the Acropolis did not last untouched. Over the centuries, it faced war, conquest, and transformation. In the Hellenistic and Roman periods, it remained revered, but saw additions and changes. Under Byzantine rule, the Parthenon was converted into a Christian church dedicated to the Virgin Mary. During the Ottoman era, it became a mosque, complete with a minaret. The greatest disaster came in 1687, when Venetian forces besieged Athens. The Ottomans stored gunpowder inside the Parthenon. A Venetian cannonball struck, causing a massive explosion that destroyed much of the temple's roof and sculptures. Later, in the early 19th century, Lord Elgin removed many of the surviving sculptures, the so-called Elgin marbles, which now reside in the British Museum. Their removal remains a subject of debate and controversy to this day. Despite these wounds, the Acropolis never lost its aura. In the 19th century, after Greece won independence, the Acropolis became a symbol of national pride. Restoration projects began, aiming to preserve and reconstruct what could be saved. Archaeologists carefully studied the ruins, piecing together fragments of columns and sculptures. Today, massive conservation efforts continue, using both traditional techniques and modern technology to safeguard the monuments from pollution, weathering, and time. In 1987, UNESCO designated the Acropolis a World Heritage Site, recognizing its universal value as a masterpiece of human creative genius. Today, millions of visitors climb the rocky hill each year. They walk through the Propylaea, gaze up at the Parthenon, and admire the caryatids of the Erechtheion. For Athenians, the Acropolis is not just a tourist site. It is part of their identity, a constant reminder of their ancestors' achievements. For the world, it is a symbol of democracy, philosophy, and art. Standing at the top with the city of Athens sprawling below, one feels the weight of history, but also the enduring light of human creativity. The Acropolis is more than ruins. It is an idea. It represents the belief that humans can build not just with stone, but with vision. That societies can aspire to ideals of beauty, order, and freedom. Its temples may be broken, its sculptures scattered, but the Acropolis remains whole in spirit. It continues to inspire architects, artists, writers, and dreamers. From Washington, D.C. to Paris, echoes of the Parthenon can be seen in buildings of power and culture. As long as people seek wisdom and strive for excellence, the Acropolis will endure. And so, the Acropolis of Athens stands as both a ruin and a revelation, a monument not only to the gods of the past, but to the human spirit that still seeks truth, beauty, and freedom. Thank you for joining us on this journey with Little English Studio. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of history, culture, and the treasures of our world, all told in clear, simple English. Until next time, keep discovering, keep learning, and keep imagining.